Well, you might remember a few months ago, Leon Bibb took his My Ohio camera to the old Mansfield prison site of the filming of the hit movie Shawshank Redemption.
The story drew so much interest, Leon returned to Mansfield. Very brave of him. Here his story got even stranger at a second location for the film. Leon's has My Ohio.
Oh, yes, I do. You know, I'm a fan of Hollywood and how movies are made, so I went to another filming site in Mansfield. What I found there is strangest of stories. I will tell it as I imitate from a scene of Shawshank Redemption.
Dear Leon,
if you're reading this, you've gotten out. And if you've come this far, maybe you're willing to come a little further. You remember the name of the town, don't you?
Mansfield.
I'm leaving you money to get there. You loved the movie Shawshank Redemption. They made it there. I'll keep an eye out for you. Your friend.
My friend's letter pointed me to Mansfield's Shawshank Trail, locations where the movie Shawshank Redemption was made. Fictitious story of a man wrongfully convicted and in prison for the murder of his wife. Actors Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman put Mansfield on the map, using its old prison as backdrop. I have told that story, but there were other filming locations. How did Shawshank find you?
The phone book.
Ben Bisman runs a T-shirt silk screening operation. His Bisman building caught Shawshank's eye for a filming location. Needed was a structure to pose as a boarding house for inmates paroled from prison. Bisman was also hired to paint billboards, giving Mansfield a look of past years.
So not only do they come in and get the Shawshank feeling, they get this old, beautiful history of a hand-built 5-story building.
Movie makers left, but the Shawshank Trail stayed. This park bench played a part. So did a lot of the area. In 1993, Mansfield got into character. The Bisman building stood in as a boarding house. The setting for Shawshank Redemption was 1949, so Mansfield had to take on a 1949 feel, fedora hat and all. I wish they would have called me for a role, but they gave this role right here to James Whitmore. This is where Whitmore, portraying an aging con paroled out of prison, tried unsuccessfully to fit back into society. Whitmore came to the Bisman. Bisman building made Hollywood.
We got big time.
In 1886, Ben Bisman's great-great-great-grandfather built this warehouse. Generations later, it pushed its craggy mug into the camera, masquerading for Shawshank Redemption. On the movie trail, it celebrates its 15 minutes of fame. So too do Ben and Amber Bisman, who caught the building's coattail.
And in here is my wife, Amber.
Yeah, there she is.
And there's me back there. And they got my dad from the waist down.
But you're in there.
But we were there, yeah.
Kind of like a hooray for Hollywood.
It's like, whoo!
The prison was the biggest gun, but Mansfield's other gun was the Bisman building, which strangely already had a storied past. Although this Bisman building in Mansfield was part of the Shawshank Trail because it was in the movie, this part of the building is not part of the trail itself. Still, this part of the Bisman building does have a distinction. Those who work in this building say, in no uncertain terms, it is haunted because this part is where ghosts live or die. Yes, the Bisman doubles as a ghost tour stop. Among its dusty bric-a-brac and junk, they say, are spirits. In 1911, worker F.W. Simon peered down this open elevator shaft, unaware of a dropping elevator, which caught him neck high, beheading him. There is a photograph purportedly of a ghostly head, which hovers with other haunts. That's the claim.
He said, I was in here one night investigating, and I seen something literally form out of the corner and crawl down the wall. And I was out.
Once the movie star, the old building ages as a faded actor holding on to what was. On Mansfield's Shawshank Trail, the Bisman awaits its next close-up. A yesteryear star beckoning tourists for an elevator ride to recall its Shawshank fame, but also cautioning the faint of heart of mysterious sightings which hover in the darkness where the elevator stops. I'm Leon Bibb. Celebrated as the 20th anniversary of the filming of Shawshank, released in 1994, it is more popular now than then. Mix in filming locations at the crumbling Mansfield prison and the Gothic Bisman building, fold in ghost stories at both locations, and I want to tell you, this is the stuff of Hollywood and of Mansfield too. Shawshank is part of My Ohio. Live on 5, I'm Leon Bibb.